Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What is going on, everybody? Everybody is funneling in right now. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face, which is brought to you by Harold Keel Laker APA, also part of Network 216, also part of St. Dogs Cleveland. And we're here to talk about a loss tonight from your Cleveland Browns. And Bry, as we always start off the show, what's going on, big fella? How you doing?
Still living the dream. Still have faith, but it's dwindling. So we'll get into it. But yeah, it's been a rough couple days to be a Browns fan, but we've said that before.
Yes, and after going through a couple seasons of not winning any games, this is kind of we've been in this territory before, Bry. It's not fun, but we've been here before. No. So for tonight's show tonight, Bry is in charge of trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Also, we will get into the Browns' loss versus the Raiders. We will talk about their upcoming game against the red-hot Washington Commanders. God, Bri, they scare me. And then you got, let's see here. We got Fat Boy Tuesday with, we're going to go a little Maryland style, little crab cake style, Bri, a little Maryland crab cakes for Fat Boy Tuesday.
Okey-doke. Sure.
Top 3 comedy skits tonight. And we're going to get on a personal level. So we had to bring out our own, not like a broad super fans. We had to get really in depth with our favorite skits, whether it be Saturday Night Live, Mad TV. What are the other ones, Bry?
In Living Color, Chappelle's show was huge. Tosh.0, right? There you go.
We'll get into that. But, Bry, do you have any shout outs you want to get out this week?
No shout outs. I got a couple coming down the pipeline, but we'll get there next week, I think. So as of now, no shout outs.
All right. I do have to shout out our friend Beth from Friends of City Dogs. She just closed on her house this week, Bryce. So she is a house owner now, I believe. I'm not going to say, I think it's out in Lakewood. So congrats. To Beth and her husband. Hope they enjoy the house. Now, Bry, this is going on 4 weeks now, Bry. 4 weeks.
Oh, boy.
4 weeks, Bry. 4 weeks. Now, Bry, I'm throwing it out there that if he does not get adopted this week, us here at Illegal Ham to the Face will front the money for him to get adopted. Just somebody's got to go there, pick him up, take him out of the kennel. For us, Bry, it's $61 adoption. That's it. $61.
Sure. Absolutely.
We have got to get this dog out of the kennel, and we will play the trivia sounder because it is Bry's turn for trivia tonight, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. And here we go. Damn, Justin, that's a shout out to Justin for riding 632 miles on his bike in September. Seriously.
Wow.
Kudos, buddy. Like, seriously, that's definitely a shout out worthy. All right, Bry. So our city dog of the week this week is Bacardi again, Bry. There he is. He is 2 years old, 50 some odd pounds. He is the longest resident at City Dogs Cleveland, and we need to get him out. So please go adopt this dog. We've been showcasing him for the past, 4 weeks now, Bry?
At least 3. This is at least the 3rd week, I know.
So we are going to keep going with this guy until he gets adopted. Now, if we do not get any takers this week, now the kennels are full. They got 30 more dogs over the weekend. Boom.
Gosh.
Back in. So they are packed full. Also, Bri, Beth wanted me to shout out. It is their Embrace Challenge right now for the nonprofit organizations here in Cleveland to raise money, and top prize goes to whoever wins this Embrace Challenge. It is on our Legal Hand to the Face Facebook page. It is on my personal Facebook page. It is on the Network 216 page. So go check it out. Donate. All donations go to this Embrace Challenge. And the winner of the Embrace Challenge gets, I think, like $15,000 towards their charity. All right.
Wow.
So please go help them out.
Sure.
Donate. Help out any way you can, because that is a lot of money that could go to a lot of dogs that need help, like Picardi. And we need to get him out of there, Bri. He doesn't dissolve. He's got to go.
No way.
Yeah, get him out of there.
I can't believe it lasted this long.
I know, right? I know. And I keep every week I message her. I'm like, is he gone yet? She goes, nope. I'm like, what about now? Nope. I even texted her today, talked to her all day today. I said, hey, is he out of there yet? She goes, I'm afraid not. We got to get this dog out of there. So please get that dog out of there. Bri, it's your turn for trivia. What is our trivia tonight?
Well, I dropped the ball on this one a little bit. So when I'm scrambling for trivia, you know where I go. I go to the NFL, and specifically to where certain players play college, and try not to make it too obvious. So we're going, where did your Cleveland Browns leading rusher go to college?
Leading rusher right now?
Leading rusher right now. For 2024. Yep.
Right now for 2024.
I had to think about it for a minute.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
You know you went to 2 colleges, right?
He did. Yep. I got, kudos to you if you can name both of them.
I think I can name both of them. But
okay,
we will see on the other side. Bri, thank you for your trivia. Is Chris here yet? We got 30 people watching tonight. Thank you all for watching. You guys can join us here in the comments, throwing your 2 cents of what a miserable Sunday it was for the Cleveland Browns. But we got to bump our music, Bri, because it's time to get down and dirty. Here we go. I'm sorry. All right, so your Cleveland headlines tonight. First off, we will go some positive news. Your Cleveland Guardians are locked into the 2nd seed. They will either be playing the Houston Astros or the Detroit Tigers. Brian, Detroit Tigers are coming in red hot. Houston's got the experience. We will be playing October 5th, starting that Saturday. And it will be a 5-game series with either one of those. Brian, which one would you rather have? Bring on the Tigers or bring on the Astros?
I'm still going with I'd rather play the Tigers. And I admit I didn't watch a ton of Tigers games this year, so I can't speak to many of their current players. Scoble, is that his name? The pitcher?
Yeah, he's the one that's going to be in the Cy Young running with Class A.
If it
wasn't for Scoble, Class A would run away with it.
I know you're pushing the Class A train, and I appreciate that. But I heard Scoble won the Triple Crown for pitchers, so I can't imagine Class A has much of a chance there. And now, if it was a down year, there wasn't one guy that stood out like that. But to be on top of wins, strikeouts, and ERA for starting pitchers, anyways, no Class A's got the lowest ERA by far for any pitcher, I'm sure. But yeah, I lean back on the experience for the Astros, and I think I kind of said they're similar to the Warriors a couple weeks ago, just like this veteran team. I know they have new guys, but the core guys that have won championships are still there, and they make it every single year to the ALCS. So there's one team that's in their way. Well, 2 teams. If they get past Detroit, there's one team in their way from stopping them. And as of the last 6-7 times in the ALDS, nobody's been able to stop them. So Yeah, I mean, it's the Tigers. They kind of had to go on a run at the end of the year to even make the playoffs.
Right.
But yeah,
That was
they
more than
have
a run. That was 5 weeks of great baseball they played to climb back into it.
right. So I mean, maybe if you look at it that way, they're the hottest team in baseball, and a lot of times the hottest team going into the playoffs does really well in the playoffs, and maybe even wins it all, even if they're not the best team. So we might be dodging a bullet if we don't play them. But yeah, the one thing that scares you is that Scoble, not knowing a ton about him, but and having to play him probably twice for sure in a 4 game or 5 game series.
Yep.
So that scares you a little bit. We do have some familiarity with them, and I'm not sure, to be honest, off the top of my head, what our record against the Tigers was this year or how many times we played Scooball.
I believe we're 7-6 against the Tigers, and we were 1-4 against the Astros.
1-4 against the Astros. Yeah. So that goes to show you right there. The Astros just kind of, they definitely have the mental advantage. The moment's not going to be too big for them. So I think that's kind of why I lean towards the Tigers. And I would assume most Guardians fans probably feel the same way. I don't know. What do you think?
But the thing that scares me the most is when you get a hot team coming into the playoffs, and Detroit is been hot. And the one thing that scares me about them is they're a very young and upcoming team, like we were a couple years ago. We are more now of a veteran team, but with a hot team coming in, I mean, Brian, they've been playing some banging baseball the past 5 weeks, and for them to even get into the playoffs, I mean, think about it. For the longest time, we were battling Kansas City and Minnesota. Minnesota tailed off,
right.
And then here comes the Tigers just storming up, and they got in. And Brian, dare I say, I don't want to play a hot team right now. And right now, the Tigers are a hot team right now, and I do not want to play a hot team right now. I know that the Astros have the experience, but I think that we can match up better against the Astros than we do the Tigers right now for some odd reason, even though we played the Tigers a lot this year. There's something about the Tigers that scare me right now because they are playing that good. And even though I know that I've been pushing the Class A train, and I know that Scooble's going to win the Cy Young and everything else, right? They got the Cy Young winner, and they got a horse, and that kid has been pitching great. I think he's like, what is he, 17-4 right now, or 18-4, something unreal like that. So the one team that does scare me, though, Bri, out of all of these teams, is obviously the Yankees. The Yankees can beat you up and down if we get to that point, but we got to get to that point. And right now, I like that we're getting a little bit of rest, getting some guys healed up, getting our bullpen ready, getting our pitchers ready. Bybee will be starting out the first game. He'll be our starter. They are moving Gavin Williams back later in the bullpen, so he will be a long arm relief coming in. So I like how they're setting up their pitching rotations and everything for the games coming up. So I think it's nice to give you a little bit of time also, Bri, to sit back and watch these two teams fight it out, find some weaknesses in them, and hopefully exploit those when they get to play you here in Cleveland, Bri. We got home playoff baseball, Bri. It's been a while since we've had home playoff baseball. We got home field advantage, and we have played fantastic at home this year.
Yeah, I don't know. I go back to with the Astros and not really just the mindset of the players and the mindset of me as a fan, and then hearing that we were 1-4 against them this year. I mean, they have the mental advantage over you. They have the experience over you, and I think that goes a long way. Being a young team like this is the team. These kids, some of these kids, watched in middle school go to the World Series. They were probably watching Bregman and Altuve, and they haven't really slowed down a ton since then. So I think that'd be tough. I don't really buy into the people that want to stick their chest out and say, yeah, bring on the Yankees, bring on the Astros. We want them. Like, no, you fear them for a reason because they're a really good team and they probably have more talent than you. Doesn't mean you can't beat them, but why wouldn't you want it? Like, to transition to football, people that bring out Mahomes. I want Mahomes. Like, well, you're probably going to lose to Mahomes.
Yeah, you don't want Mahomes.
And then you're going to tuck your tail between your legs and you're going to walk back home. And I mean, as a fan, you want the easiest path possible to get to a championship or a, do you really think the Boston Celtics fans are really that upset because people said they had an easy road to the finals, easy road to the championship this year? Oh, they're celebrating their championship, and it'd be the same way for the Guardians this year. Just win us one. I don't care how we do it. Just raise that banner. So I'm excited. I think so. So game 1 Saturday, game 2 Monday.
Yes. And then I think it's alternate days after that. So it's Monday and then Wednesday and then Friday. And I think there might even.
And then that's when they go back and forth. Or no, 2 in Cleveland, 2 in probably Houston, maybe Detroit. And then game 5 would be back in Cleveland if so.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So,
well, so we got what? We got Bybee. We got
Bybee.
Cobb. Not Cobb. Boyd.
Boyd and Cobb. And
Cobb would be our third starter.
And then you got Lively and Gavin Williams in case as the backup. So those will be our 3 strong horses. And then, Brian, the way our bullpen's pitched, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You throw in whatever bullpen arm you want to throw in. Our bullpen has been fantastic this year. And if you get a lead early, ride that bullpen out and just – Brian, our bullpen – normally you have a couple pitchers in the bullpen, like 3, maybe 4 that are really solid pitchers. Brian, we go like 8 deep in our bullpen right now. Like, that's how good our bullpen is. Like, it is between Gaddis, Clase, Avila comes in from time to time as Heron. Just it has been, and these are all young kids too coming up, just showing their grit and just pitching. And I'm excited. Normally, when you have the best bullpen in baseball, you're going to go far in the playoffs, and hopefully that is us. Now, we were on MLB Network. They did pick the Cleveland Guardians to win the World Series this year.
Just recently or before the season?
Nope, just recently.
Oh,
they got all the playoff teams in, and one of the people picked Guardians to win. So, hey,
take it. We'll take all the support.
Hop on the Cleveland train, baby. Come on, Guards.
So do you know who won? Because I thought I tried to turn it on here, but I must have been like a little late. I saw Houston and Detroit play today. Did they not?
They did. And hold on. Let me go to.
I flipped it on, and they were already on the news, so the game must have went pretty quick.
And Tigers won 3-1. Tigers are up 1.
Wow. Okay, so there you go. Good. So they just need to win. Just need to win one more.
Yep. The Tigers played at Houston.
Wow.
So they got one.
Oh, and this game was at Houston. And so Scooble threw a gem.
Yep. It sounds like it.
Wow. For sure.
Let me pull up what
they only got 1 run. That's impressive. I wonder how deep he went.
Scooble went 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, no earned runs. The only run came up later on in the 8th inning or something like that. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad, Bri.
And he didn't pitch a whole lot either, so they're probably thinking that if they have to bring him back in an elimination game, they will.
Yep. Even if it's just for a few innings at the beginning. So we'll see what happens. We got a whole week of baseball talk. We'll get to it next week when we come back on Tuesday. Brian, I do love being back on Tuesdays. It feels right. It feels right being back.
I agree. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that went on this weekend that we can react to. Did you stay up and watch the Georgia-Alabama game? Holy crap.
I was watching the Ohio State game on the other channels.
Did you get Peacock? I got
the Peacock. So I was flipping between Ohio State and then I was watching Penn State, Illinois, and then
that's a good one.
But when I saw Alabama was up like 28-0 right out of the gate, I was like, "Oh boy, let's take a break check on that one." I'm like, and I went, and honestly, Bri, it was a 3-1 Michigan State team. I wanted to see what Ohio State had, and Bri, dare I say, they got the best wide receiver right now in college. Like, that kid Wow.
I don't know if they have the best freshman in college. Did you see the Alabama kid who's 17 years old?
I did, but also our kid, 2 one-handed catches for touchdowns. It was Brian, it's crazy what these kids are doing now. Like I saw the Alabama, like a couple of the passes, like the one, it was oh God, you remember Devin Smith. Played quarterback for a while. So Howard got hurt, had to come out for a little bit for one series.
Devin Brown.
And Devin Brown,
is he their backup?
He's their back. Well, it's between him and a freshman. So he came in.
Is he still wearing 33 or something?
Still wearing 33 strong, 33 strong. And Bry, Smith did a little jet down the sideline and he threw it as hard as he could. And it split both defenders. And this kid caught it one-handed down the sideline and just walked right in. Bry, it wasn't even like it was like a Spider-Man catch. It was like, and caught it. And like, he didn't even bother with the other hand, nothing. Like this kid is, boy, he's good, Bry. He's really good, and so is that kid from Alabama. Like it's
right. You see stuff like those two kids, and you wonder, like, well, maybe there are a few kids that could go directly from high school to the pros because they're playing, top of the line college football. And at some of these programs, and so, now there's not many of them that can do stuff like that. No. There's been a few over the years, though, and I think still the physicality in the NFL would probably be too much. The kid's 17 years old; he should be a junior in high school. He's probably going to get thrown all over the place in the NFL. But they did say the one position that they say could potentially you can make that transition from high school to the NFL is cornerback. And I mean, if you got those ball skills and you're that quick, maybe you could. But like wide receivers, they make the flashy plays, but can you really go across the middle in the NFL and go against an NFL linebacker? Like, you might get decapitated if your body is not mature enough.
Yeah. Would you like to get hit by Myles Garrett if you fucked up a screen pass, Bry? Let's be honest.
No, trying to block it, trying to do a crackback block on Myles Garrett or a linebacker or something like that. Like, these guys don't move at this level.
You can just see the quarterback going like this. Come on, motion. I know.
I'm gonna run a fly route again. I'm going deep. I'll run the streak.
You want to be on the other side, right? The other side.
Yeah.
No. I need you. No, I'm not stopping here. Let's
just fly routes all day. I'm going to the end zone. Just throw it up. Hopefully, I'm quicker than them.
All right. Well, Bryce, since we still got happy times going here, all right, we will get into our fantasy football league right now and do our scores before we get into the Browns because we will be going heavy into the Browns. And Bry, right out of the gate for your legal hand to the face fantasy football league, runner is off the schneid. He has one beat always next year, Joe Bear, 115-88. Team Big Meat beat Team Big Rod, 113-109. Portage County Prostitutes, who are 4-0 right now, leading the
come on.
Family, 115-96 over defending champ Phil McCracken. Dog Pound. Oh wow, Craig, you did great, man. 146-125 to Honky Cat, and Harold Keel beat Justin 131-91. I have to go back to his name here in a second. Right? It came down to host and co-host, mano y mano, and Bry, the Tennessee Titans defense did it for me, buddy. You had Jared Goff go off. You had St. Brown go off, but it was the Titans defense that gave me the win. 131.3 to 131.16. Fatty is in charge.
What is that, a yard? 2 yards, maybe?
It might have been a fart in the wind, Bry. I don't even know what it was. Like last night when I checked it, I was like, shit, I'm still good. And then Goff went off. I'm like, I might want to check it this morning. And I checked it this morning. I'm like, oh, thank God. So, hey, if Goff wouldn't have been perfect and thrown one more pass, he would have got it.
Yeah, all I needed was a couple more yards. I heard something today that was it was funny. Jared Goff has more receiving touchdowns than Travis Kelce. after 4 games, which is, I mean, the NFL's drunk this year. I mean, it's just there's so many wild things between, and we'll get into the unbelievable things that the Washington offense is doing that zero people predicted. I mean, through 4 games, they're like historically good. They're like better than almost every offense ever through first 4 games. So it's wild. Yeah, I mean, why should fantasy football be any different? Yeah, it was a fun. I thought I had a chance. I didn't obviously stay up till the end of the Detroit game, but looking at it, I mean, you were predicted to win by, you were like 90% or 85% chance to win. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, I got a chance.
It was
I got a chance. All I needed was like 50 points from Goff and St. Brown, and they're pretty good. And I figured, okay, they got this. And then, they had a couple of, I think maybe their first 3 touchdowns were rushing touchdowns. So I'm like, there's probably no chance of me coming back from this. But I checked it this morning and texted you, and I couldn't believe it was. But that's fantasy football. I mean, you're going to lose by fractions of a point. There's people that are out there. I lost by what? 12, 16 hundredths of a point. There's people out there that have lost by 1/100th of a point. And so it makes it fun. I won last week in the league by 1 yard. Because McLaurin had 4 catches for 100 yards. If he had 4 catches for 99 yards, I don't get that 100-yard bonus, and I don't get the extra points. So I would have lost 2 points, and I would have lost the round and ended up winning by 1. So it's fun. It's fun, especially when your NFL team. This is why, the reason I got into fantasy football so hard was because my NFL team sucked on Sundays, and I needed something to root for. So hopefully we're out of those dark times, but yeah, I don't know. Hopefully.
Yeah, I had a bet not go good, and I'll tell you after the show, I was pretty upset about the what happened on Sunday. But Bri, right now in the illegal hand to the face fantasy football league, you have the Portage County Prostitutes at 4-0, Dog Pound, My Knicks in a Box, and Team Big Rod at 3-1. Big
Nice.
Bri, Harold, you are what we pay you to be, Justin's nickname. And Honky Cat are all 2-2. And on the schneid right now at 0-4 is always next year with Joe Bear.
Oh, Joe.
I know.
Former champ.
All right, Brad. Do it. Hold on. Let me do this. I need you to prepare yourself. Can you prepare yourself?
I think I got another beer in the fridge. I'm gonna have to go get.
Here, hold on. Prepare yourself. We're going to give us a little countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's what it was. It was an explosion all over Las Vegas, and it did not look good at all, Bri. Your Cleveland Browns lost to the Las Vegas Raiders without Max Crosby, without Devontae Adams. A team that finished last in rushing this year so far, rushed for over 150 yards on you. And Bri, it was, let's just put it this way, it was a performance of all performances from everybody. If it could happen, it happened. And if it happened, it was bad. Coach-wise, you got out-coached again. Bri, we still have not scored 20 points in 4 games. This offense looks putrid. We cannot run the ball. We cannot block it all. We can't, right now, catch it all. Some people are still dropping catches like crazy. For once, Brian, I can't even get upset with Deshaun Watson. He didn't play great, but he played good enough to win that game. If he made that phantom holding call on Nick Harris, he would have ended up with close to 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the only thing the beef I had with Deshaun was still a couple decision-making. Like you and I talked there at the end of the game, you cannot take a sack on 4th down. I don't give a shit if you underhand it to the guy, if it's going to be an interception. You can't take a sack at that point in time. Can't take a sack. I don't care if you throw it 50 yards into the bleachers. As long as you get it out of your hands, you got to get it out of your hands. And there's been a lot of people with videos and all this other crap. Brian, we've had drama with dads again. That's where we're at with dads again. We got drama with dads again. We have comments from wide receivers that were too tired and to make sure that they're going to ramp back up again for this week. We've had other comments of, well, he was a decoy. Brian, that was a decoy right there. I wasn't supposed to throw to him. He was a decoy. I'm sorry. If a buck walks right in front of me, I'm going to shoot him anytime that I can shoot him, whether he's a decoy or not. So this is where we're at with the Browns right now, Brian. Give me your reactions on this Sunday, and what are your thoughts about what happened on Sunday in Las Vegas?
Yeah, it was a major disappointment. Certainly, you had every opportunity to win the game, and again, kind of like the Jets game, at the end, you still had a chance to win it, even though you had so many timely mistakes go against you. We could run down. You brought up the holding call that brought back a huge touchdown. Nick Harris snap when Deshaun's not looking. It seemed like, I don't think Nick Harris was terrible or anything like that, but it just seemed like maybe he had some
bullshit, Brian. I'll call it.
The whole
bullshit.
It was, and Ross Tucker said so at the time, and then kind of backtracked after the local ref that they had on Steratore started backing the refs, and he kind of backed off. But I mean, stuff like that happens every single play. Deshaun still got lit up. It's not like the guy fell down or anything like that. So it was very, very ticky-tack call. But yeah, you had that. It seemed like Nick Harris just, I recall Deshaun clapping for the ball several times. There was one time he snapped, as he's clapping for it, he snapped it real quick, and Deshaun had it maybe for half a second and then threw a slant pattern, and it was maybe a big third down or maybe a fourth down, and he didn't have enough time because he wasn't ready for the ball. So, I mean, those are the type of things that happen when you have backups. We have 4 backups on our offensive line. I hate to harp on this time and time again, but people just don't understand when you have 6 of your best players not playing on offense, your offense isn't going to be good. It's not going to magically be great. Maybe because we've been spoiled with quarterbacks off their couch or, left tackles off their couch. I don't know. That's not the norm. When your best players aren't able to play, your offense isn't very good. And that's what it's been this year. And so, yeah, it's just all of it's not good. We're very close at times. Our running game is, other than that one run at the end of the game with Jerome Ford, it's basically non-existent. So, you have to throw to have any sort of success, and teams are going to pick up on that, especially, like they saw. I was going to ask you, is have teams just figured out our offense and our defense? Just blitz Deshaun. You have no running game. You don't have to worry. Just get to Deshaun quickly, and they're just not able to complete these short, quick passes or beat the blitz at all. And then going to the defense, have teams figured ever since Houston? I feel like our defense is just not the same team. Is the tape out on Jim Schwartz? This is how you attack them. Our defense is average at this point. I've been calling them above average. I've been calling them good, but you can't stop anybody. And again, the defense has injuries too. I thought of Maurice Hurst is out. Juan Thornhill done for a while. The loss, I've always kind of told you that Anthony Walker was a bigger loss than anybody really wants to talk about. And so I don't know. What has changed with our defense? Why are we all of a sudden average when we had discussions about being elite last year? Is it just because we're playing tough competition or what?
Well, for one, Brian, I think what it is, and I do have to give, what is it, Jordan Hicks? Jordan Hicks saved a touchdown with a shoestring tackle. What I honestly think it is right now, Brian, is we are missing tackles, for one.
Oh, like crazy.
Like crazy. It's not even a little bit. If we shore up the tackling, I think we'll be okay. But also, Brian, I think what's going on right now is they're realizing where we're at. Myles Garrett is seriously hurt, people. Like, it's not like a little bit hurt. He even came out and said his feet hurt, his Achilles hurts, his thighs hurt because his feet hurt. Bri, he was only in there to rush. That was it. He played third down, any kind of passing down. That was it. He wasn't in there like he normally is throughout the game. So we didn't even have Myles Garrett to be there to anchor everything. And then also, Bri, I think we're actually getting caught up right now with this whole, we play man-to-man, and we've always played man-to-man. We rarely played zone, but what's happening right now is they're beating us on the very quick passes, quick slants, little out routes, just methodically. That's how they're spreading the ball out. And if it was actually a medium or deep pass, our corner is going to be all over them. But I think they're just getting beat off the line right now, Bri. But we still have a good enough defense to win the game. Bri, our defenses really haven't given up a lot of points. Like, if you think about it, we just like, it's 20 points here. It's, the other, when we lost to the New York Giants, what was it? 20? It wasn't even 20, was it? It was 19.
21. 21.
So we're averaging around 20 points a game for our defense. Our offense isn't producing a damn thing right now, Bri. Like, if you get 3 touchdowns, that's it. Bri, they even came out today and talked about our offense today on the scripted first quarter plays. Okay. We have had 3 touchdowns on all those. After everything else, Bri, haven't had shit. Like, it's bad. Like, when we first get the ball, we walk down the field like it's nothing, score a touchdown, and then it's like we forget how to play football again. And it's like, what are we doing here? And it's, Bri, it's injuries, it is penalties, it is discipline, it is, Bri, dare I say, leadership. I mean, when you have your backup quarterback talking to your team, not your real quarterback, even though I did love Deshaun getting in DeJuan's face on the blown coverage they had, that showed me some leadership. But Justin even came here and said, don't blame the rushing quarterback. Justin, if that holding call, seriously, if that holding call was not there, that pass goes for 70 yards. Deshaun would have had 275, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions if a couple of those passes were caught. So you can't even blame this loss on Deshaun, because it was not Deshaun's fault. Deshaun.
Well, what does he mean by don't blame the rushing on the quarterback?
He loves he thinks that we have a rushing quarterback instead of a passing quarterback. And it just, I don't know what he means by it, Bri.
I'm not blaming the lack of rushing on Deshaun. No, I'm not. I'm just saying we can't run the ball because we have 4 backup offensive linemen and a backup running back. I mean, it's not difficult to understand why our offense is struggling. You just don't have the talent that the other teams have. It's plain and simple. You talk about the scripted plays. It reminds me, is this a Stefanski thing? I think we were having this exact same discussion. It was a Baker year. I think it was 2021, where like these scripted plays, first drive, we're looking great, and then we sputter after that, and it's like, I can't understand it. Is it just our guys just having an issue? Computing all these plays. Do we spend so much time on these scripted first 20 plays, and I think that's 15 or 20 is like the amount that they script, and we got 10 points, we got a touchdown, and then we got a field goal, and then after that it was nothing on offense. So like something has to change here, because it's looking like a trend.
Like, Brian, you and I talked about it last week. Like, what do you do if you don't have a solid offensive line? It's screen passes, it's quick outs. Like, how is it you and I can see that and they don't see it? And also, the other thing that kind of frustrates me right now, Bri, is we are pretty much dead last in rushing. Let's just put it that way. We are one of the last, probably 3 teams in rushing right now after this week has been over with. Even though we average almost 4.5 yards a carry. Now, granted, a lot of that scrambling from Deshaun Watson. I'm not saying it's not. But when did we stop being a rushing team and open up the pass? Like, this is what's baffling the shit on me. Like, it has been a shotgun-heavy offense right now, and it has been tailored to Deshaun Watson to be Brian, dare I say they're trying to reinvent the wheel and make this Deshaun's team when it should be a team in general and make it how they play? Because, Brian, look how they played against Jacksonville. That was totally different than what they played against these last 3 games. The other 3 games. Jacksonville was a totally different script, totally different everything. How they ran it, how they did everything. But the other 3, it has been shotgun. It has been medium passes. It has been no running game whatsoever. The one game you did win, Deontay Foreman and Jerome Ford rushed together for 130 yards, and you won that game. Should be a formula there, Bri.
Yeah, and I hear you, but it's not like we scored a ton more points in the Jacksonville game. It's not like we scored 31 in the Jacksonville game and we were scoring, 16 in every other game. No, we scored
Brian,
like 19, 18. We scored 18 in that game.
But if you look at that game, though, we were controlled that whole game. They
Why?
came back later because of the running game.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because of the running game.
Why?
Time management.
And why were we able to run the ball?
Because
and
we
be patient with it. Because we had the lead, because the defense did not give up 21 points in the first half like they did against the Giants. We're good playing from ahead. We're not sped up. Our offense is not sped up when we're leading. If we're leading the game, sweet. Let's just run the ball. Let's just run clock. Eventually it's going to work. When you're chasing, like we were in the Giants and like we were this past week, and I think a lot of it has to do with just mentality. We get up 10-0 and we're like, okay, cool. They don't have Devontae Adams. They don't have Max Crosby. We're good. Look at us. And then before you know it, we're down 20-10 and now we're chasing and now we have to get these big plays. And when things don't go right for you, it feels like you're taking 3 steps back. We talk about the Nick Harris issues. We talk about Myles Garrett, another week with a debilitating penalty for hitting a guy, quarterback in the helmet that just absolutely crushed you. And then, it comes that. Also,
that wasn't even Myles Garrett, was it?
I think it was this week. Last week it was Newsom. Was it
Alex Wright? It was
91.
Yeah,
it was 91. That's right. Because I think they miscalled it on the broadcast, but then looking back, it was 91. You're right. But also, we haven't even brought up our kicker. He's for the second straight week, and I understand. We need to talk about if we have a kicking issue. Kickers aren't going to be the reason nobody's really, piling on Dustin Hopkins is because kickers. We don't expect kickers to be perfect, but if you go through the NFL, there's a handful of kickers that have not missed a kick yet, and he's missing these critical kicks. We didn't even talk about it last week. Going to the Giants, he missed the 50-yarder, which he had been perfect from 50 yards. So you can't get too down on the guy because he misses one kick. But that changed the game. You make that kick, now you're down. We end up losing by 5. So now we're down 2 if he makes that kick. Now we only need a field goal. And believe me, that changes your mindset. That changes how you call plays. If you know, hey, we just need to get in field goal range and then we can kick it and win the game. And same thing with this past week.
Yeah, but what about, okay, he missed an extra point this week. And yes, that extra point would have been great. But Brian, he did nail a 55-yarder. And then right before half, it was a 56 or 57-yarder, and they didn't even trot him out there. They're like, all right, we're going to punt it now. It's like, why would you punt it there? Take the 3 points. He already made one for 55. Like, I don't understand what you're thinking right now. Points are points. Why is it that this team does not take the points when they're right there? Even if he misses it, I get the field position and all that stuff, right? I get it. But there's still a chance that he can make that kick, give you 3 extra points, and guess what? This game would have been a different story going into the second half.
Yeah, we got too conservative because we figured, we played a good first half. I think it was tied at 10 at the time. And I mean, give the Raiders credit. They have a really good kicker too, probably top
Mhm.
5 kicker in the league.
Oh yeah,
So
Carlson.
had they gotten another, if we miss it, say we miss it, and they get the ball basically at midfield, because I think it was a 58-yarder. All they need is 15 yards, and they're in field goal range, or maybe 10 yards. But at the same time, you got to have confidence in your defense. I think we didn't have confidence in our defense, because they're running the ball down our throats with, you know, Jags with just a guy. Their offensive line is not special. Their running backs are not special, and yet they're still able to run it down your throats for whatever reason. I don't know what's the deal with Dalvin Tomlinson. Nobody's bringing him up. He's just almost been a non-factor. I mean, this Quentin Jefferson that everyone's talking so highly about. Yeah, yeah, I haven't heard boo from him. Shelby Harris as well. Our defensive tackles are just non-factors. They're just kind of there taking up space and not making plays or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, we want to talk about why did the Browns lose from to the Raiders without 2 of their best players? I mean, it's not going to be one guy. It's a total effort. Pretty
Yeah,
much
no, it was.
everybody that we talk about could have played better.
Yeah, it was definitely a team loss on this one, Bry. I mean, Amari Cooper dropping passes again, Bry.
Amari Cooper, yeah. What is the deal with him?
I have
If
no
he's
clue
not going
what
to be our number 1 receiver, we don't have our number 1 running back, we don't have our number 1 tight end, and he's playing like a 2 or a 3 receiver. I mean, again, these aren't difficult things to figure out why we're losing to these bad teams. When you look about, who's playing well. I mean, Joel Bitonio is 34 years old, and he's our only healthy offensive lineman.
And he's got one arm because his arm is hurt. So he's got one arm, and he's still playing.
We're playing a bunch of backups and expecting to win these games and expecting to put up 31 points because, we're paying our quarterback $230 million. He should just make up for it. I mean, people with that take are just lazy.
You and I talked about this at the beginning of the season. I was concerned about the depth on this offensive line and where it ended up. We still have not seen Jack Conklin. All right. Yep. Jed Wills is still out again. So your 2 starting tackles, one of them played for a half, and then he got hurt and was out. So now we still don't have our tackles. Our guards Teller's out for an extended period of time with his injury.
4 weeks.
4 weeks with his injury. Where's Postage? Postage is playing right guard now, right?
No, he got hurt. That's why Nick Harris was in there.
So yeah. you got a rookie, you got a backup in Harris, you got Bitonio, and you got DeJuan Jones that hopefully Deshaun getting in his face and giving him shit kind of lit him up. But Brian, he's still playing hurt. He's coming off of a knee surgery. I'm not saying that those are any excuses, but man, this is getting real. Like we talked last week of where you think this team is at, and if you had to redo your overall picks of wins this year, and if you would change it, I mean, Brian, it's not looking good, buddy. Like this is, it's like diarrhea through a mesh net. I don't know what to say.
According to Vegas, I heard they have the Browns now at 5.5 wins. Over under 5.5. I thought it was
6.5. I heard 6.5.
I heard 5.5. So maybe it depends on what.
That's not good.
Where you're going. So that's what I still think. There's still potential for them to get this thing righted, and you get guys healthy. This is not the same team. If they're healthy, I know that's a big if. We haven't been healthy yet this year. If you get guys healthy, this is a different team than what we saw on Sunday. It's just the fact of the matter. You get starters instead of backups. Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that you're going to be a better team once these guys come back. But yeah, there's still questions about, can Conklin be what he used to be? Can Chubb be what he used to be? What the heck are we getting with Jed Wills? What kind of effort are we going to get from Amari Cooper, who seems to have 1 foot out the door? So, it just might be the story of the season. But I think a quarter way through the year that this is hopefully the worst that we're going to look. I still have confidence. I still have hope, but unfortunately, injuries will continue to mount up. You just hope that they're not the key guys because, we've talked. They just don't have the depth to really compete in the state that they're at because we need everybody healthy, as most teams do. But This is just can't even score 20 points with backups that are in there on offense, and you expect the defense. Okay, the offense is coming back, and they're not going to be full strength. So you need the defense to step up and start winning you some of these games, and they haven't been up for the task for whatever reason. I don't know.
Like they've been okay. They haven't been the elite.
They've been okay. They haven't been terrible. Yeah, if they're terrible, they're giving up 30 points a game. But
I mean,
giving
McLeod got
up
a fumble
20
recovery
to
for
Daniel Jones.
I mean,
yeah,
if you think
they
about
do.
that,
Right.
So, all right. So, Bri, all right. Before we get into our players of the week, if you have any players of the week, we're going to get into Big Bri's crystal ball. You ready for Big Bri's crystal ball, Bri?
I got you.
All right. Now, a lot of rumors have been going around. Devontae Adams might win out of Las Vegas. You still have the whole Brandon Ayuk stuff that happened earlier. Bri, the way it's going right now after 4 games, is Amari Cooper on this team after the trade deadline?
The only way he's not on this team is if you completely bottom out. I mean, if you go 1-6, 2-7, or something like that, then yeah, our season's over. What do you need him for? So that's as much as I don't want to say it, that's a possibility. I mean, that you can end up 1-5. I don't know. So we'll talk about Washington. They're obviously at the top of the mountain. They're feeling themselves. They're playing out of their mind. So that's going to be a difficult game. And then I thought, well, okay, the Eagles just got it handed to them this past week against Tampa Bay. So they're going to be fired up to go
and
this
off
week.
A bye week.
Right. I didn't realize they had a bye. So they're going to have 2 weeks to chew on that Tampa Bay beatdown. And also get healthy, maybe get the receivers back. That's going to be more of a difficult game than I could even imagine because they're going to be pissed off. Yeah, hopefully they get a little rusty during their time off. But, man, I really wish they had a game in between that beatdown that they took and playing us at home. And I find out that they have a bye.
They're going to be pissed off when they come here.
So, no, we go there. So,
that's right. We do go to Philly.
So that's gonna be brutal. So yeah, we're not gonna talk about it just now, but man, you have 2 very difficult games to get back to 500. So yeah, it's just not good. So yeah, if the bottom falls out, I can see us getting rid of Cooper, and it would make sense. But if we're still in it, if we're 2-4, 3-5, and we just have to win a couple games, you got to be around.
Even if he's playing the way he's playing, you would still.
He's still the best receiver you have.
Just asking. I was just saying.
Well, is he not? Is he? I know he's had a very rough year, but is he not the best receiver you have?
He probably is because the other number 2 wide receiver that we gave an extension to just magically got tired, and he's going to run some extra reps this week to make sure he's not tired for this game coming up. Because he got
your
tired.
Number 3 receiver is his dad's popping off at the mouth for not including him enough. Your number 4 receiver hasn't done anything in the NFL and just dropped a huge 4th down play. So his confidence is 0. I mean, we talked all offseason about this wide receiver room not being up to par and not really having many professionals that have proven anything in this league, and now it's come to fruition. Talking about David Njoku being your second best target. Well, he's hardly played at all this year. So what are you left with? There's no surprise. You shouldn't be shocked that our offense is sputtering with all this stuff that we're talking about. It's just, people don't want to connect the dots. They just want to throw all the blame on the quarterback because it fits their narrative. So, our offense is not good enough. There's not many guys on our offense that are playing well enough to win games right now. So that's why we're losing to the Raiders. That's why we're losing to the Giants. But we're getting blown out by the Cowboys.
Yeah, the one thing that scares me, Brian, this is getting eerily close to the one year that we had high expectation was with Odell Beckham Jr. and that team. And then Odell's daddy came out with a video, and then all hell broke loose after that. And it was just a shit show of a year. Didn't we finish 7-9 that year?
I can't honestly remember.
Was it 2020? 2021?
No, 2020 was the playoff year. 2021, maybe. Yeah, it could have been
2021.
2021. But Elijah Moore doesn't carry that kind of credibility that Odell Beckham does. So if he starts creating too many
No,
waves,
and
we're
that
just going to cut him.
well,
He's gone.
Odell Beckham doesn't really have much clarity right now with this.
Well, right now he's an afterthought in Miami. He's the fourth receiver.
We went 8-9 the 21-22 season.
Right. Yeah, we were in it till the end.
But I think that was the year that. But I just it's getting similar. Like there's a lot of chatter going on in the locker room. There's like I have a feeling that behind the scenes in the locker room is not happy right now. And I have a feeling I know we have one leader in Myles Garrett, but I have a feeling there's a lack of leadership after Myles Garrett. And kind of scary to think of. And I mean, we'll see. Brian, do you have any players of the game for this week? You have an offensive player of the game?
Yeah, I'll go Jerome Ford just because the one big run, and I think he caught a bunch of balls. So for a backup running back, he didn't do that bad. So yeah, Jerome Ford. He's about the one bright spot that I can think of on offense.
I went with Judy. He caught 6-7 receptions, and yeah, they weren't great. I would have gave Amari Cooper, but a couple of those ones hit you in the hands, and then I felt bad. It would have been Amari Cooper if that holding call didn't happen.
No, well, I mean, he gave up the interception is on him.
Hit him in
the
chest.
You can't. I know, right? You can't.
Like Tillman.
Turnovers are a big deal. I mean, that's I said a couple weeks ago, going back to the 2021 year, that we have a few times today. Baker lost 2 games. Deshaun's not giving the ball away like Baker used to. He's not great. He's not winning. And now people want to compare Deshaun to Baker of today. Baker's a much different quarterback today than he was when he was in Cleveland. So we can stop with that. But Deshaun's not turning the ball over. Yeah, I mean, he has 3 interceptions this year. The one this week, again, off Cooper's chest, and then 2 against Dallas, where one went off Elijah Moore's hands, hit both hands, and then the other one was batted up in the air by Micah Parsons. So he's not throwing the ball to the defense. Now he's not doing enough offensively. No. He's not living up to his contract, certainly. But I feel like he is progressing. That's the hope that I have for this year. Once we start getting guys back, hopefully Deshaun is shaking all the rust off. I know nobody wants to hear about the rust or anything, but it's just, again, it's reality of the situation. It takes, when you don't play for a year, 9-10 months, and you have no real preseason action, like there's nothing that can get you prepared for NFL football. Even the guys that do play in the preseason, that's not NFL football. You get 3 hours a week to prepare for NFL football, and that's when you're out there. So it takes time to. There's no simulation for it. It takes time to get used to the speed of the game, and I feel like he's progressing. Now he's not progressing fast enough because we're not putting up 20 points, 24 points, 25 points. But if you have David Njoku and Nick Chubb and 4 starting offensive linemen, I think there's a path to where he can do that. Unfortunately, your opponents get more difficult, so you're not guaranteed wins. You're not going to be playing the Giants and the Raiders in mid-November to where you can start stacking wins easily there. So I don't know. I mean, it's at cross points. This is a huge game for us. Like I said, I'm terrified of Philadelphia. So I think this Washington game is, dare I say, must win.
And dare I say, must win too. Do you have a defensive player of the week?
Yeah, I went with, I can't even, Isaiah McGuire. Haven't heard a thing about him since he was drafted. And he makes a big play on, was it 4th down?
Mm-hmm.
To not only make the play, but get the ball loose and, give us 6 points. So somebody does that, I shout him out.
and I go with McLeod because he's the one that scooped it up and took it in. So it's not that often you get defensive touchdowns like that, Bryce. So I kind of prop up the guys. I mean, it was a combo effort, but the one guy that actually scooped it up and actually took it in just didn't fall on it and just lay there. So Cloud for me. Brian, let's talk about this Washington game coming up. We are playing the Reds or Commanders. I almost said it. I was close. I was going to call them the potato skins.
How dare you? How dare you? I'm offended.
Right, so we are playing the Commanders, and they have been on a hot streak, Brian. I mean, I think they're the top averaging points in the NFL right now. 40 some odd points the past couple games. Jaden Daniels is looking like a superstar in front of our eyes, Brian, and it has been all offense on this team. I mean, Brian, I think the one time they've only put him once in like these past 2 games, like 4 times.
Oh yeah. 4 times in 4 games is what I heard.
That this offense, and guess who's the offensive coordinator, Brian? Cliff Kingsbury.
Kingsbury? Yeah.
But they're doing they're doing tailor-made to what their quarterback needs and what they're doing. And Brian, this offense is flying high. And we're going to have our work cut out for us. I mean, it's a scrambling quarterback. He can run, and he can run fast. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he can get out and move. Brian, this game scares me even more than the other one did because we're not looking so hot on defense, and you got the top offensive team that we're going up against in their house. What do you think, Brian? How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, it's a daunting task. On paper, they're going to put up 40 and we're going to put up 10 and get our butts kicked. But so much as you see and as I'm learning, as you watch, especially earlier in the season, so much about the NFL is when you play a team. When we have an 0-2 Giants team coming into our stadium and their season is hanging in the balance, you're going to get their absolute best shot because there's in their minds, their season is on the line. That's what their coach is pounding into their head the whole time. Same thing can be said for the Raiders after getting completely embarrassed by what a lot of people said was the worst team in the league and the Carolina Panthers the week before. They hear about it all week long. So in that matter, we're actually catching Washington at a good time. They're flying high. They're going to hear their praise. People are going to sing their praises all week long. They're going to think that they are the best team, including the greatest show on turf. They're going to think this is so easy, and they got to figure it out. So I think you're getting them at a good time, but that's not to say that they're not extremely talented. And Jaden Daniels is taking the league by storm, and he's something else. I think I heard he has more scoring drives this year than he has incompletions or something like that. It's just a mind-blowing stat. He has a higher he has a higher completion percentage than any other quarterback in the history of the league through 4 games, including Tom Brady had the last one. He's like completing 82% of his passes. So he's not going to do that all year. Eventually he's going to come back down to earth. Is this the game that he does? I don't know. Does our defense stay focused for entire 4 quarters? Hopefully their antennas are up. This is a huge challenge for them, and they should view it as people talking about them being the best offense in the league, and it's a giant challenge. And so you hope that our defense takes it seriously. If they continue to put up 35, 40 points a game, we don't have a chance. So I think our defense steps up. I think, they're on cloud 9. They're thinking about, winning the Super Bowl at this point. And so I think you can catch them there. So I like our chances, but it's not going to be, you're going to need a total team effort. I still don't think you're going to get a ton of guys back off of injury. Nick Chubb hopefully practices this week. He's not going to play. Doesn't sound like Njoku maybe might play, and you hope Deshaun just continues to get more time in the pocket and continues to get more confidence. And so that's what you're going to need to win this game. You're going to need an offense that is capable of putting up 20, 25, maybe 28 points, and you're going to need a defense that completely locks down this quarterback who has been a superstar lately. Now, one thing that causes me pause a little bit is, I was thinking today, like, remember our defense used to have pretty good success against Lamar Jackson. I kind of think Lamar and Jaden Daniels play a similar game with their scramble ability. Now, Jaden Daniels through 4 games has proven to be a lot more accurate than Lamar, but we used to have Lamar's number when Joe Woods was defensive coordinator. Now, I think back to last year, Jim Schwartz, Lamar kind of did a number to us in both games. I think he put up what, 28 points in the first game, and then they just kind of sat on it against DTR because we had like 3 points.
That was more passing, though. It wasn't really Lamar running. It was more of him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, him as a dual threat.
Yeah.
Because if you focus in on stopping him as a runner, he's going to beat you passing. If you drop everybody back, he's going to beat you running. So that dual threat guy, and then the game that we came back and won, they still scored 31 points on us or something like that. So that does give me some pause that this dual threat quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who's similar to Jaden Daniels, kind of took it to you in 2 games last year. So Jim Schwartz, this defense, are going to have their work cut out for them, but they have to keep us in the game. And by that, I mean, if they get to 30, the way our offense is playing right now, without the guys that we need to come back, I don't think we can put up 30 from what I've seen. So you got, 20 points, maybe 24 at most on defense. You got to make stops. You got to do something no other team's done to Washington this year.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. I think also the other thing that we need to do is shore up the tackling. You got to tackle better. We can't be getting guys.
Yeah.
And, that's been killing us. And also the stupid penalties, Brian. We're still making stupid penalties. Motion penalties, false start penalties, offside penalties. We gotta shore up just the mental error penalties is what I call them. It's where you had a brain fart and you screwed up. Like pass interference, I don't consider that. It's the one where you're lined up in the neutral zone. It's the one where you're closing in on the quarterback and you know that if you touch his head, they're going to throw a flag thanks to Tom Brady. Like, these are the things that are going to happen to you. You got to stop making those mental mistakes for this team. Brian, we're not doing so good on our picks so far this year, are we? It's not. Look, I don't think I've won one.
You got off the schneid. Yeah, you picked the Raiders, I believe, last week.
Shut up! Don't you lie to me.
I'm pretty sure you picked the Raiders. Yeah,
you were supposed to write this down.
No, I did. It's over there. Yeah, you picked the Raiders, and I was going to pick the Raiders, but then because you picked them, I picked the Browns. So I think we're both 1-3.
All right. Well, Brian.
Now against the spread might be different. I don't know I haven't even seen what the spread is this week.
I don't even know what the spread is this week.
I guess maybe 6. We're underdogs by 6. I guess
maybe 5.
Something like that.
Something like that. We'll go with 5. We'll go with our own spread. We'll make it up.
5.5.
5.5. There you
go.
Well,
and you just give your prediction, and then whatever the spread is, that will line up with whatever your prediction is. If it's 6, if it's 3, whatever.
Brian, I hope that this loss lit a fire under the ass of the Cleveland Browns, but I am terrified that it hasn't, because I am still terrified there are things behind the scenes that we are not seeing right now. Brian, I'm going to go with Washington right now, 27. And your Cleveland Browns, 18.
All right. Boy, this is what the Browns do.
Mm-hmm.
When they play better as the underdog, and I feel like the other team is just going to be busy catching all their bouquets from this week, and people telling them how unstoppable they are. And like I said, they're really good. Give me the Browns 26 and Washington 23.
All right. Oh, wow. All right.
This this might be my last stand with them, but yeah, that's where we're going. That's where we're feeling right now. A couple Bush Lights gets me feeling good,
All
confident
right.
about this game.
All right, Brian. Well, we'll do a quick one, but we have to do it.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
It is.
Now it's time for Fat Boy
Just keeps playing over
Nice.
Tuesday. And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
We'll just keep playing it. All right, Brian. It is time for Fat Boy Tuesday. All right. Now we are going to Maryland. Technically, it's Washington, D.C., but it's Maryland. Let's just be honest. It's Maryland, Virginia. All right. Now, Maryland is known for blue crab. Have you ever had a blue crab?
Never. The only crab I've ever had is crab ragoon. Maybe crab dip.
Okay. You never had crab cakes then.
Mm-mm.
All right. They're also known for a half smoke. Have you ever heard of a half smoke?
No. Not when
is-
it comes to crab. No.
No. It's not a crab. Now this is going to be up your alley. A half smoke is made famous by Ben's Chili Bowl. The half smoke is a spicy sausage often made with pork and beef, usually grilled and served in a hot dog bun.
Sure.
So
I'll be down with that.
what did you think? Like that's a mixture between like an Italian sausage and a
A
bratwurst?
brat. Yeah, like a brat.
Okay. They're also known for their jumbo slice pizza, crab cakes, oysters, and a blue crab soft shell sandwich, which I have had one of those, Bri, and I'm not gonna lie, those are delicious. You
They
just
got the legs sticking out and everything.
legs sticking out and everything. They just bread them, deep fry them, and then put them on a sandwich.
Wow.
It's not bad. You gotta try them.
I'll take your word for it. Is there any condiment you put on it?
I normally go for me with that. I always do a tartar sauce. I always treat it like a fish sandwich. I put a little tartar
Okay.
sauce and hot sauce on it for me personally. But
Sure.
I know other people have used barbecue sauce on them, made like a barbecued coleslaw sandwich out of them. I've seen po' boys made out of them. So you have your choice of how you want to do it. But I mean, would you try a deep fried crab?
Sure. Absolutely.
All right, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to get together.
Crab's like the one seafood that I will eat, that I will try. I mean, I'll try other types of fish and whatnot, especially for deep fried. But yeah, I feel like I eat crab more than anything else. But yeah, just a lot of other stuff, a lot of fillers when it comes to crab.
Okay, so shrimp. You eat shrimp?
No shrimp.
Lobster.
No lobster. Not for me.
Okay. All right. Well, at least you eat crab.
That's about it.
All right. Well, that is our Fat Boy Tuesday. If you have some other Maryland foods that we got to talk about, we got to try, please hit us up on all of our socials at Ham Illegal on Facebook, Twitter, our YouTube channel, Illegal Ham to the Face, all that stuff. Hit us up there. All right, Bri. We are down to, let's see here, Justin. Y'all going to make me open up DoorDash. Godden's here. Here we go.
Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead. Yeah, I know what you're going to get.
Do it.
You're going to get a Bacon King from Burger King, and he's laughing right now because we were talking about it today. But it's time for our top three,
Sounds
Brian.
good. Yep.
All right, Bri. So top three tonight, you went with comedy skits. All right. We had to be particular about the comedy skits.
Right.
Okay. So do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I'll let you have the floor on this one. You go first.
Okay, all right. Here we go. I got three different sketch comedy shows here. My number three, man, it was hard to pick one from Chappelle's show. It was high school, college. It was the funniest thing going. TV, movies, anything on the internet. Chappelle show was it. So I went with the racial draft is my favorite Chappelle show sketch. And there's the thing about Chappelle show is everyone like gets all up in arms about it, but it's about being able to laugh at yourself and being able to laugh at other people and not having any hate or anything. Because he made fun of whites, he made fun of blacks, he made fun of Mexicans. It was just he made fun of everybody. And if you could just laugh at everybody, then we're all in a better place nowadays. People look at you sideways and think you're uneducated if you laugh at anything. So, yeah, well, that's my Chappelle spit there. I still love it. I haven't seen it in a while, but it was so good. So two is SNL. I had to go on SNL, and I went with Matt Foley, the original one, the original Matt Foley with David Spade, Christina Applegate. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to beat that one. There are a ton that are good from Saturday Night Live, especially when it comes to Chris Farley. He was one of my favorites, but I went with that one. My number one, I don't even know if this is my favorite, but I enjoy it whenever I see it, and most people probably have not seen it or even heard of this show. I talked about The League last week. There was a guy, an actor on The League called Nick Kroll, and he had a show called Kroll Show, and he had this sketch of a young Larry Bird, and it just makes me laugh every time I watch it.
Oh my God. Okay.
If you don't know what it is, if you've never seen it, I beg you, go to YouTube and watch it. If you're a sports fan and you know anything at all about Larry Bird, it's very, very funny. So yeah, I don't know if that's my number one, but I put it up there.
All right. So those are great. Those are absolutely amazing. All right. So Brian, my number three is from Mad TV, and it was Stewart. You remember Stewart?
Oh yeah.
In his underwear in his living room, and it's like, "Come on, Stewart, we got to do this." No, I don't want to do it. You get away from
the Halloween episode.
The Halloween episode when he's just in his underwear and a shirt. I don't want to go. Don't make me go. And every time I see that, I laugh so damn hard. And any of the Stewarts, it just makes me laugh so hard just watching this. All right. Number two for me, all right, was a Saturday Night Live skit, and it had the actor from Will and Grace and Jimmy Fallon, and they were in like a boutique clothing store, and Will Ferrell comes in with the scooter and smashes into the wall and gets the tiny phone. And he goes, "Hold on, I got a phone."
Yeah.
And opens up the tiny phone. He goes,
"I know that.
Hello." That one cracks me up. And Brian, my number one, and I still play it to this day with you, with everybody else. I don't know what it is about Key and Peele and the East-West Bowl.
Right. Oh, right.
Forgot
about Key and Peele.
Anything else. I laugh so hard every time I watch that, and especially when Aaron Rodgers come on. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. The substitute teacher. Well, yeah, definitely one of my favorites from Key and Peele.
Dan Smith, BYU. Just the funniest shit. I laugh so hard every time I see it because just the names that they've come up with. And then even the one guy that went as a symbol, he goes, "I don't even go as it anymore. This is my name." Oh God, I can't help it, Brian. It just cracks me up. I laugh so hard. Classic. If you guys have some top threes, hit us up on our socials. We love to hear it. Now, Brian, I'm glad to check out that Larry Bird one because it's
good. I don't even know how I found it. I just stumbled upon it. I didn't really watch the whole show at all, but yeah, I forgot about Key and Peele. Shame on me.
All right, so we are going to go with our trivia. Like I said, it is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Right there, Bacardi, right there, 2 years old. Please help, adopt, donate, volunteer, whatever you do to City Dogs. But please, longest resident, get him out of that kennel. And Brian, what was your trivia question tonight?
Well, I asked you which college did the Browns' leading rusher attend?
Now I gotta ask. Hold on, is Jerome Ford the leading rusher, or is Deshaun Watson the leading rusher?
Jerome Ford.
Okay, Jerome Ford went to Cincinnati.
Nice.
Played under Luke Fickell.
Okay, I forgot about that.
And came from Cincinnati, from Alabama.
Kudos. Yeah. Bonus points there.
I do know my Cincinnati football. I love Luke Fickell.
It took me a minute. It took me a minute to remember where I was trying to think of, Amari Cooper went to Alabama.
That was
Joku went to the U. But
that was the year that Cincinnati did really good and got one of the big bowl games. And then Fickell went to Wisconsin. Yes. So Jerome Ford was the running back for that. And Desmond Ridder was the quarterback then, too.
Yeah, right. I remember Ridder. I didn't remember Jerome Ford. Okay. Well done.
One for Fatty.
I think it was a 4th-round draft pick, maybe?
Jerome Ford? I thought he was a 3rd-round pick. I thought he was our 3rd-round pick.
Could be. Could have been. Yeah, could have been.
He might have been a 5th-round pick. Hell if I know anymore.
He might have been. He was a mid-rounder.
All right, we're here at the end of the show. We want to thank our troops, first responders, for everything you guys do. We want to thank Harold Keel, Network 216, and City Dogs Cleveland for sponsoring our show, letting us have some fun. Bri, we're here at the end. God bless them.
God bless you. God bless America.
And like we always say, we are definitely uncorked, unloaded, and Bri, hopefully next week we get to talk about a win.
Hell yes.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. See you guys next Tuesday. Go Browns.